at one of the other properties, and it's been done nice, this one, but you can just see they've got rising damp again. They all seem to have this. Oh, lovely. Just looking, Phil sent me a picture of it all done. Nice. He's got the pipes in, good. Right, I'm just on this one, and it's always this problem is like, how far do you take it? So obviously that wall's been getting damp, painted over it, and it's like, these ones look okay. Yeah, so it's normally at the back of the house, because normally with sun stuff as well, obviously drying stuff out, but all underneath there is damp. There's damp, that's damp, that's damp, which is again weird because it's by the thing, but oh no, I was going to say sometimes you get more there where there's a garden wall and it comes down the wall. So let's go out and have a look. There we go, just in the back kitchen there. Always go out and have a look at the outside of these walls, but the fact they're getting it on there, especially the internal one, it's a weird door. So I was just thought to say, normally you get issues here, so what happens is water lands here, soaks in, so when you haven't got coping stones, obviously like these, so if you have these, obviously it'd run off, but even these will have that issue, look, because they haven't got a drip thing. So you should always have a drip bar on your, these haven't got it either, so you angle grind a line in there, and what happens is water lands on that, hits that and drops and doesn't land on the wall. Whereas at the minute, anything that goes in here runs down, goes in and goes down to the wall and gets soaked into the house. So we're having that issue there. So that wall's getting damp, which it just looks like rising damp. It's weird because the floor is actually quite high off the back floor. You can see, you can't see it there, but there's a bit of like subsidence that way. And then you can see it there now, where the floor sort of drops down that way. Yeah, the only issue with this one is different to the other ones we've done, is that this has a timber floor. So this one actually feels, I'll have a trim it on it. Annoying. I'd say this one feels like concrete, but in here then that's timber, so you can hear the difference. And this is timber. So the issue you have with this is that if this is rising damp, you need to be able to pull the floorboard up and have a look, because we need to inject. If this is getting damp, which it is, yeah, that means that the walls are damp. The joists that are sat on the wall are getting damp. So you need to go underneath and sort out, obviously, the joists getting damp. Because otherwise what happens is the joists rot and the whole floor like caves in, which we've seen on every student's house we used to rip out. You'd go into the corners of like the front or back room, whichever way the sun was facing or whatever, and every corner by the chimney stacks, the floor would be bouncing like that, and when we'd obviously pull it up, the joist would just be rotten. And so this one's a bit more tricky, because with it being a timber floor, you have to do a bit more work to make sure that the joist, and you have to do a bit more investigation as well. Yeah, So I'd have to pull one of these up, so you can see the joist is there. Obviously the floorboards are on that way, which means the joists sit on this. So if that is getting damp, you can almost guarantee that the old joists are getting damp as well. But they feel quite solid. So yeah, it's difficult because it's only minimal, the sort of damp that's coming through, but you obviously don't want to, and with it being a party wall as well, so the other side of that is a living room again, so you'd think that you wouldn't be getting it as much there, or normally like the external walls that are getting more damp. So it might be, do you know what, I've got an inspection camera in my van. I could come drill a hole and have a little look now, but I haven't got time. Ugh. So I might see if I can just charge them like a fee to do a bit more investigation, and then I can give them a proper price then. Thursday morning, and I don't know if anyone else has this, I thought I'd talk about it. Like, does anyone have like work paralysis? I can't remember what it's called. It's like when you've got loads of jobs to do, and in your mind you just put it off because there's so much to do. And I've spoke about it before, but I've had that for the last, I don't know how many days really. I went away and obviously give the lads the week off while I was away, but well, some of them, Ben was in and Scott, I've come back and there's like a backlog of stuff now, and it's just like, because it's like out of the normal, in my mind I'm just like, oh, and I just need to sit there and go through it for a few hours, but I'm just struggling to find the time, or that's what I'm telling myself. But really I just keep putting it off because it's like a burden. But obviously the longer I put it off, the more of a burden it's going to be. So this is where I need the app to help me out by doing this, where at the minute we have the card, like the business card that we get 3% cash back on. So we use that, but then we also have like bank transactions and stuff. So I have to match all the receipts up that I get off Chestnut. So I might put like a bank transfer or whatever to Chestnut, and then we'll use that, and then we'll have screw fix things and B&Q whatever on the card. But the receipts for all the jobs need to marry up with all the payments. So I have to sit there and go, right, there's all the payments for this week. Like that job, that job, that job, that job. And then if we have a payment that's like £200 and I don't know what it's from, I have to then go through and message all the lads and say, what's this for, what's that for? And it'll be someone's forgot to put the receipt in the group. And then sometimes I have to go on the GPS on the vans and go, right, it was you. Like, you're in the van, it was you who's done it. Or someone might sign a Chestnut and the reference on the receipt, they might put their name rather than what job they're on. So then I have to go back to them, and if it's only a week ago, they go, yeah. Whereas now there's some that are like 3 weeks ago, and I'm going back to them and they're going, oh, I can't remember. And I'm like, well, I've got an invoice there, I've got a receipt or an invoice a receipt that I need to allocate to an invoice, and you can't remember where you are. So then I've got to go on the app and look at which job they were on and where, and then hopefully that one tallies up. So it's like I say, it's a burden when you're doing it like that, and when you're talking all numbers and this and that, and you get one wrong, or you're in the middle of doing it, which is what I've found, and then like someone else comes along and like takes your time and distracts you, and then you come back and you're like, oh, I can't remember where I was up to, and you're looking at emails, you're looking at the group, you're looking at bank statements, you're looking at receipts, you're looking at photos, and you're just like, so I'm trying to, if anyone knows of a service out there that does all that, let me know, because otherwise this is what I'm doing the app for, because I don't think there is one at the minute, but we'll see. Right, I'm just at the yard, Ronnie and Phil, It's hard because I'm trying to get these to work independently from me. However, there's only so many jobs that they can do. So, like Ronnie and Phil now, they need me to come and set the scaffold up on this roof and have a look at the roof, what the problem is. Because I don't know if they could set the scaffolding up, but then I don't think they'd know to get on the roof what was causing the issue, because that's where obviously your experience and whatever comes in. So yeah, but yeah, the plan, Ben's off today actually, so at some point we'll have to go and lift the steels in on that thingy job, because we got them up into the scaffold yesterday, but David's off, he's in uni today, so there's only Paul, Scott, Labby on the dormer loft extension job. Me, Phil and Ronnie are on the cosy living jobs today. So we'll go and finish that water main job, just tidy up. I think there's a bit of painting to do inside, so hopefully Ronnie's brought that. But let's get and then I've got to get to my sisters and get the digger and Alright, let's just tick jobs off and see where we're at. Right, so me, Phil and Ronnie have met at the yard, used the forklift to put a pallet of scaffold on. However, we were about to set it up in the wrong house, weren't we? Yeah. And I said, before we start setting it up, let me go in the house and make sure that we have got the right one. So we're going to have to, as long as they can walk through this scaff, in case they're open today, but yeah, let's just set it up and see how we get on.
Hi, Paul.
But we'll just do a bay, as long as they can walk through it, should be sound. So, they're having issues here. Yeah? Yeah?
So what, we're going to do it above head height, the first set of bars?
Yeah, so we'll start it normal, and then we'll take the bottom ones out, and so that people can walk through and it's not causing a problem then. So we need to set scaffold up, have a look at this roof here, because obviously they're getting a issue in here, and also you can see where this one had subsided, or they've both subsided. But yeah, all around this roof window. So I think they want us to swap this roof window. This was one me and Ben come and looked at. So yeah, we'll set the scaffold up and then we'll get up and see what's what. And so this is the one you can see where we'd, still haven't finished that, where we'd needled it. Dun, dun, dun. We're trying to kill two birds with one stone today. We're going to get the scaffold set up and then we're going to get the rubbish on this tipper, and then we'll go back and we'll maybe have to come back and try and get this one boxed off then.
What?
I'll have to check how quick we can. Obviously the pub will want the scaff down soon as, won't he? Yeah. What have you stuck in now? What do you want me to grab? Just keep getting standards.
I've got 3 in there already though.
Okay.
And there's enough bars. It might be worth bringing a few little ones and a clamp or something.
Sounds. So I've just been like bumming some gloves, and I found these in the van, and I was like, yeah, I'll put them on. And I went to put it on, and I was like, what the hell? Someone's like sewed 2 of the fingers smaller. And you're Saturday Lewis's?
You want a pair of gloves, do you?
Yeah, but I've got holiday hands now, and they're fastly going back to. They're going back to working hands, eh? My missus was made up. I could touch her arm and stuff without scratching her.
You're never with your missus.
Well, what's that though? I just went to put it in and I was like, why is my hand not going in there? He must have cut his hand off then. Thank you. Right, so I'm just up on the roof of the job that we're coming to see. Now they've got a leak underneath my feet, and really there's like a couple of cracked tiles and there's one there, but like other than that I can't see anything like thingy. I've had a little look. It has got felt underneath, so next thing I'd have to do is pull some of these tiles off so that I can see where if there's any water stains on the felt. But up here the lead looks okay. It's just this roof window, so they're getting all issues with this now. Obviously water's getting in here. Look, you can see that, you can see through there. But yeah, look, like if I can do that, obviously water's getting in. So, and then down the sides here it looks the same. Look, all that's basically gone. There'd be little holes where, but you wouldn't get much coming in there. And then down the side the lead was damaged, but the lead underlaps that. So I was looking to see if there was any like split lead, but there's not. That lead looks okay. That's been redone. That's been redone at some point. It's up to them what they want to do. So that's a cheap fix. I don't know who's done this one. They must have just had a roll of flash band and thought, we'll just, rather than messing around with the slates, there's a big hole, so we're trying, oh, that'll be that one. I'll pop that back in for them while I'm up here for free. But obviously I don't want to work on that side of the roof because we've got no scaffolding there. I don't know whether they own next door as well, but let me just pop that in because you can see. I'll go up and show you this now. This is what happens when you don't solve little leaks. Like, look at that timber now. So that has been missing for, I mean, there's plants going through it. So that what happens, how that happens is that obviously at some point it would have been fine, and for plants to be going through it like that, it means that it's been empty for ages, and bits of soil and dust in the air have all got in, and obviously with water the plants have found some nutrients. But I'll just pop that in for now, and then I might just get some, I'll get a little bracket for them and put that on. Right, I've sent that to them, so we'll see what they say about this thing, and then I just need to do some further investigation on the roof there. Look, someone's been flash banned crazy here. Look at the pots on these. It's mad, isn't it? 12 chimneys they've got in this house. The Smithtown Road skyline. See the cathedral there. It's got a boss zoom, this camera. Look at that for there. What else have we got? Oh yeah, Radio City Tower. What else? What else can we see? Can we see Anfield or Goodison? No, I can see the other cathedral in the back there. And then we can have a good nose at people's dormers here. That weird one. PVC cladding? No. Don't do them anymore. Well, I think you can have, and then there's PVC cladding as well. The first dormer I have. What the hell is that? Oh my god, they've done that for the roof window to the stairs or something. I've never seen that. There's two of them. How weird. Right. Yeah, see what they say. Obviously they want us to do something, whether they go for the cheap fix, which is similar to that, or whether they want to swap the window out, or is there anything else we can think of? I'm only thinking if that's got wet in, the frame of this might be gone, in which case, I don't know, you know what landlords are like, they might just say, I'll just do flash band it. Right, let's go. I've been on this loft job, looks like the lads have been busy. They've got all the padstones in. Is that just shut? Let's see how they're getting on. Turn your radio off.
Have we turned the radio off, please? The music, please, hurry up. The music, please. The music, please, hurry up.
Sound? Right. That one in first.
Any, yeah.
So you're just saying, the biggest one is that for the back?
Yeah, that'll go in after. Let me take the roof off.
No, that's what you were saying. That way.
But you got the stud, you got it in ready, right?
Well, yeah, it's all ready.
Oh, so will it fit underneath?
I don't know, I think it might do, you know.
Because if we can get it in, boss, but
Oh, that's what we were just saying before. We think it'll have to be straight. Yeah.
it's a 1-4. It's a 2-4-6, isn't
You
it?
have to take half of that hip out on there. Put it in now.
There, look, you wouldn't have a. No, you wouldn't get it in, I don't think. So we'll leave that one out, get these in, and then start on the joist and that thing, can you? Try and get the floor in tomorrow. Sound? And then it's just how much we do until. Yeah, just try and get the floor in tomorrow. If it rains over the weekend, and then next week looks dry, to just go right, bang everything off.
Yeah.
Good thing is that we are doing a post on that, so we can get a post on the ridge in, get the front roof in, done.
Yeah, okay.
We're not waiting to brick it all up. Right, you ready to lift these stairs in? No. These are light, I'm telling you. Can't get much lighter than these. I've had these made a lot smaller than what they were. Would have been getting 203s in. What was it? Twice as heavy. 30 kilograms a metre.
Yeah.
Instead they were going to be 52, so literally nearly double.
We ever done was like 10 inches. 10 width.
10 by 10.
That was silly.
Right, ready? Who got it off? Me. So you managed to get. That's the bit I was on about. I said you might be able to pull the screws through the back.
It was screwed from the back and up the plasterboard. So,
Ah,
like I say, it took a little bit of time, but we've done it.
done well. You've done well there. Like I say, the tires. Oh, I'll probably go in there now, and all the tires are gone.
No.
But yeah, so this steel's going padstone to padstone there, and then the steel underneath it is going across there and into that padstone over there, and then we're going to wait because that's a slightly bigger steel. It's taking the weight of the door on the wall. Although I reckon we still could have got away with that with the 203 133 30, but whatever the engineer will give us. Right, you might as well get rid of this gutter then as well, mightn't you? Although, no, we're going to need something to waterproof it, aren't we? Yeah, leave that on. Looks funny, doesn't it? Just chopping holes into people's houses. Oh, you've got that one in already as well. And then there's a post, excuse me.
Yeah.
There's a post going here. Obviously middle. There's a post we're going to weld up, and it'll take the ridge beam.
Oh.
So, because it's a semi,
Yeah.
if it was a terrace, you'd have a wall and a wall. You don't have to insulate the internal walls up to new regs, but because anything we do new has to be new regs, so this wall has to be new regs. So either, obviously a new wall is 300, or well, 300 the minimum there'll be now with the insulation values. Yeah. So we wouldn't have the space to do a 300 wall. Yeah. We'd have to put a steel from the front of the house to the back of the house, just to take the internal skin, to then put an insulation in between. Or we can do it in steel and timber, and then we can get more insulation in between the studs and meet the U values that way. So that's what that 100 by 100 box section,
like that.
That's going to weld to this up, and then the steel, one of these sits on it, and then in there, so it'd be like, and then Ronnie will have to weld it in position, and then we can do the front roof and the dormer and the back roof and everything off that then. Oh, we need to order 6x2s then as well for the side, for here. Just reminding him to do that. So we've got it, this steel to here on the scaff, and then me and Phil are going to go in now, and we're just going to all lift it bit by bit onto that one. This one's going to go to the front of the house, So we're going to get it in and then swing it in. You've got that bit cut out ready, haven't you? Sounds. That's this is the best way I can think of doing it. Otherwise, it'd be a crane job and we'd have to take the whole roof off, and you'd end up having to like cover the whole roof in case it rained. You missed all the fun here, man. But he wants to try and keep these studs in, but I was looking, saying he's going to have to change these door frames anyway, because when you do a loft, all the doors have got to be fire doors. And hold on, we've got the steel into here, and we're just going to lift it and push it out now, where I am. Do you need to come out to me, or can you get up? Oh, you got it on the up. And then, do you need to come out to me more, or?
No.
Sound? So we'll lift that side in, and then obviously we can sit it on here then. Ready? Do you want to put a level on it?
No.
See, check the laser. So we've got that one in. So one down. We've only got one more to do today, and then all the floor can get in. You're just going to get busy tomorrow then, getting all the floor in.
Get busy.
And then the back one will go in once we take the roof off. How much easier would this be if we just took the roof off? But you just that risk of it raining. My van. Oh, I've got so much stuff in my pockets. A dormer loft extension, yeah. Yeah, all this roof's coming off, whole new roof. Yeah. Wait, is it 4 o'clock? 3 o'clock? So, Labby, do you want to update YouTube? Update YouTube where we're up to? How many steels are in?
There are like 3 steels in, and we're going to put this one now. We're going to swing it in there.
So we got
4 steels.
floor steel in, this window one, and this other floor one in on the pad stones. I can come back a little bit, can't I? To be fair, these pad stones are bigger than 100 mil. So right, and then we've got a slightly bigger one to go at the back. However, this can't go in until we've took the roof off, but we're going to get it in an angle, sat on this steel, whilst we've got everyone here to lift it in. Otherwise, it'd be another day of bringing people back just to lift this one steel in. Whereas if we get it sat in on this steel, it'll just be a case of sliding it over. Right, you ready?
Yep.
Right, so we've got the big one at the back taking the dormer wall. That's in. However, we can't get it fully in until that hip comes out. So we need to try and make sure you waterproof it all, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it decides to rain tonight, you know.
That fish screen that
Yeah.
Dave said we shouldn't use.
Okay, and then if you want to start getting the 7x2s in.
Yeah.
7x2s, and then that one will be an 8x2 probably, or you can.
We'll have to put this one down now. The tops of that.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Yeah, it's not going to be much left, but just leave them in, and then it's up to you. Might come and go. Oh yeah, do you know what? Because when I tell him he's going to have to change the door frames anyway, which the doors might not all be the same size. Are they wide enough for fire doors?
Definitely not fucking square.
850. So 850 you need between the studs.
Between the studs. You got 830.
So he hasn't got enough for a 13-inch door anyway. Which, if it was me, I'd want a standard door, like.
That's 800.
Yeah, so I'll tell him that and see whether he wants to change them or not.
830.
Sound right. Yeah, and then get the floor in tomorrow. Nice day. Getting there, innit?
I'm going to put this in the van, then I'm going to take out the
Hiya, mate, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad, how are you, mate?
I'm good. So all your steels are in. Even the back one, we've got that in, because but it's not in like exactly where it needs to be. But it's in, one side is, but it's on a bit of an angle, so the when we do take the roof off, it's ready to just slide over.
Yeah, sad.
But yeah, all the others are in. The only thing we had to cut some of the tops of the stud work.
Oh yeah.
To get them in, but like at random heights, because like the way we had the steel angled to get it in, we couldn't get it in without cutting them off.
Yeah, well, it's just a case of passing them a few bits of timber then, so right.
Yeah. The other thing was, so I measured you because you're gonna have to swap your door frames, aren't you, for fire doors?
Oh yeah.
But when I measured them, obviously a standard 30-inch door, you need an 850 door frame opening, because obviously the fire doors are thicker, aren't they? You haven't got that, so you'll have all different thingy doors on your landing.
All different, you mean?
Yeah, because one of them's 800, one of them's 830, so you won't get one 30-inch door on them unless you change some of the stud work. Do you know what I mean?
To be honest, mate, if it's all going to be changed, I might as well just rip it out, mate.
That's why I was ringing you to say. It was like we were working all around it, and like Scott was just like, "Why is he keeping this in? It's like 200 quid's worth."
I know. Do you know what, mate? Rip it out, man.
Yeah,
obviously the bathroom, just leave that, because don't need to change the door frame. The bathroom is fairly new anyway.
Yeah, that's you don't need it.
Just leave all that, and then it's just a little bit of stud work, isn't it, mate?
No, we've left them. We've left them in now, but it was just when we were doing it, and I just went, I'll just do us a favour, measure them to see whether they'll get 30-inch door in, and because I was thinking you're gonna have to change them all when you do a loft. You've got to change all the doors anyway. So
to be honest, I hadn't even measured them. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I was just clutching at straws there, really. Do you know?
Nah, to be honest, I'd think the same. Yeah.
I'm going to be saving so much money anyway with the way, with you anyway. Not like, that's part of the course now. Like, if it's going to make things more difficult.
Yeah, well, it would have been easier if we'd done them at the start, but we just like.
Did you wait till the end of the day to measure them, did you?
No, we the first one we had to cut it out to get it in, because obviously the roof joists are in the way, and we couldn't get the steel in and like do a 360 swing and whatever and poke it out the thing, and then we couldn't put it on the scaff and poke it through the scaff because it like overhang the scaffold too much and like flip us off the scaff. So it was like we ended up cutting it, and the last one we got in, I was like, there's no point even keeping half of this, because he's gonna, and I said just measure them and checked it, and I measured them, and I was like, we should have done that at the start. But
mate, I'm off tomorrow. If you want, I can just come and take the stud work out in the morning and save you doing it, so you can concentrate on something else. Like,
oh yeah, they're going to be doing the floor tomorrow, so it won't really be in the way. Yeah, some of it will be getting cut off again for obviously to get the floor in. But we set a laser up and I cut them all at the right height.
You even done that bit before?
I know, yeah. So we put a laser up, cut them all at the right height, so that all it had was a 4x2 on top, and then it was good to go. But when we started doing it, we lifted the steel in. We're like, right, we can't get the angle. We're gonna have to cut that.
The thing is, you could probably leave the middle one in, couldn't you? Like the middle wall, and then just change the doorways and the walls between the.
But you'll have to. We've still got to chop that one to get obviously the floor in.
Yeah. So, well, do whatever you've got to do. If you want me to come and save you all. And
he got the timber lintel out without touching the tiles.
Legends, boss.
I know. Yeah, I went in and he was like, how'd you get that out? And he was like, mate, I had to pull that off, cut the screws there, do this, do that. And he said, but it come out eventually, like.
What a guy. What's the big fella's name? Is it him?
Yeah, Paul, yeah.
Yeah, he's sound, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he was, I think he was made up, to be fair. He was like,
boss lad.
He said he was like a dentist.
Mate, up with that, mate. That's great stuff. So what are you doing? You're obviously there tomorrow, are you? You're doing floors tomorrow?
Yeah, so Scott's, Ben wasn't well today, so it was just Scott, Paul and Labby today, and then me, Phil and Ronnie went round to get all the steels in.
Yeah, sad.
There's Ronnie there.
Sad. It is right, lad. Nice one. Really appreciate it, mate. The update on it.
But yeah, hopefully get most of the floor in tomorrow, and then it says rain Friday.
Yeah, well, you'll be
potential.
I mean, those holes in the roof and that, have you covered them up with something, have you?
That's what they were doing when we left. Then they were waterproofing everywhere. So, but then hopefully, if we get to Monday, we can just rip the whole roof off, and get that ridge steel in with the post welded, and then it's like it's crack on then, isn't it?
It's crack on big time, yeah. So the roof's coming off Monday then, you think?
Hopefully, yeah. So
depending on what you do tomorrow, obviously.
I mean, I doubt he'll get all the floor in and all the boards on tomorrow, but we'll see. It might be that, and then maybe Monday, bit of flooring, and the lads start taking the roof off. While like Ben and Scott.
I'm gonna get me mate in with a drone. Because I'll post this on my property thing you see as well. So he's gonna come with the drone when you top the roof off on that.
Sounds? Yeah.
So that'll probably be Tuesday, Wednesday, really, won't
it? It might be Monday afternoon. I'd say either potentially Monday afternoon or Tuesday. Yeah.
No sweat anyway. Whenever. Yes, mate, it's right, lad. Thanks, Andy, mate. Have a good weekend.
No worries, come on, speak to you in a bit.
Do you need any wagering? We said a week Friday, didn't we?
Yeah, a week Friday, yeah.
Go on, Sam, mate. Alright, nice one, man.
Go on, see you in a bit.
Cheers, mate.
That was the customer we're doing the dormer for, so that's a good one. So he's actually in property. He does all like renovations himself, but he's like, you know, he said he wasn't sure on doing this. It was the first time he'd done a semi. He's done like a terrace before, so I think he's going to come in and do a few days with us because he wants to learn as much as he can. But yeah, this bit we're sort of used to it. It's only like bits like today where they're like, you've got a bathroom and you've got all these studs in the way, and people are like, you know, you want to keep them and do that, and you're like, but yeah, it makes sense to get rid of them studs. And I'm off now to Manchester, so you'd have heard on the phone the other day, my mate Tom, he's at Nimbus. I'm going to try and get Nimbus to sponsor our YouTube. So if anyone sponsors our YouTube, what we're going to do is the money we get from YouTube, so at the minute it's paid for Simo's funeral. I haven't actually took any money out of YouTube. It's just sat there. I don't even know how to get it out, to be honest. I need to like set something up on the... They keep asking for like American tax info, and I'm like, I don't have a clue what that's about. But obviously we pay for Simo's funeral, and then when we do get the money out, some of it's going to the dog shelter and the trailer company where we got the trailers off for the boats for disabled kids. And then from now on, especially if we get a sponsor, what I'm going to do is, if anyone wants to sponsor our channel, like I'm talking like, you know, put something at me, because basically it'll all go to charity. Whatever we get, say for a month, a week, an episode, whatever, so many thousand views, whatever, and we'll use that money to do call outs and jobs for people for free. So I'm going to have a section on my website where you can nominate people, or yourself, if you're going through an hard time and you're desperate for an electrician, a plumber, a builder, whatever it is. And hopefully we can get up to the stage where we can do like an extension for someone, or we can start doing bigger, you know what I mean? It'd be nice to just grow it to that, because I look at all these other YouTube channels that started out, you know, a while ago and stuff, and they do, like, the one I love is like the guy who just cleans people's gardens, and I think, how boss is that? Just cleans people's gardens for free, and he does it because of obviously the views from YouTube. But if we can get a sponsor who's lined up with, you know, that, and maybe they can sponsor the episodes that we do that with, because they're the ones that might get more views. So, or whether we just do a blanket thing. But yeah, I want to try and do as much good as we can from this. So yeah, that's it for Thursday. I'm going to meet this Nimbus Maps, what do you call it? networking event or whatever. So I'm gonna go there now, and I'll probably film a bit there. Right, I'll see you either later or tomorrow. Friday morning, and we're waiting on a few jobs to come back. Well, we're not. We're going to town to do some bits in G-Bar, but what we're going to do is we're going to try and use these slabs, because still, if we get them down on a level surface, they'll still be fine. They'll just have a little cracking. So I'm hoping we can drag. Phil's going to clear that with the spade now, and then I'm going to get the digger and try and drag. Will the digger drag that? Might not, you know.
Well, how else are you going to move it?
Digger, or I moved them with the forklift, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do it, get that clear, and we'll try and. But we're just trying to clear this area. Yeah, we're trying to clear this area so that we can get the slabs down when they come. Yeah, that one will digger will get. It's just more like that big one there you're on now, isn't it? Let's see how we go. We're part way there, aren't we? We've picked the slab up, put it on stilts. We've levelled this now, so I'm going to try and pick these bits up now and lay them in with the forklift. And Ronnie's going to take this exhaust off, because obviously we tried making it quieter, etc. However, that bolt's come loose and it's snapped off there, look. So it's snapped off there, if you can see that. Probably because it's come loose and we haven't noticed it, but that was the old exhaust. However, I've bought a new one with a muffler and etc on it, so I'm hoping this one's going to be quieter. So they're going to get me decibel reader and see the difference. So sound level meter. Hold on, turn that music off, sir. Otherwise we won't be able to do it. Ronnie, just turn that music off, sir. So I've got my sound level meter here. Let's give us a little baseline reading. What do you reckon we'll be at? Do you reckon that's over 100 decibels?
As it is now.
Yeah. You reckon? Obviously it depends how close you stand to it, like, doesn't it? But 1 second. So I have to pull this clamp on because this bit comes loose. What do you reckon it is? I mean, me talking this close to it is that. So whatever we do, we've got to do the same reading. Right, Ronnie's got this on and nice and tight, and he's doubled the bolts up. So what do you reckon we'll be at? Me talking's like 90, you know. What do you reckon? What were we at, like 110 or something before? Oh, that's better, like, isn't it? I was a bit further away before. Yeah. I don't like getting these ones in though. I'm happy with that, because at one point I was thinking, I'll just bin them.
Does that mean you're going to smile?
I'm smiling now.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and flip this now, and hopefully we forgot to put mould oil on it, didn't we? Mould oil.
You did.
Mould release oil.
I'm not taking any responsibility.
No, you weren't here for that one.
We didn't do anything.
Phil forgot to ring us and remind us.
Yeah.
Right, let's give this a go, flipping it then. Sounds a lot better, doesn't it? It's more smoky than it used to be though. I don't know why. So we flipped this round and we just need to now try and like create a few little few little lines. I wasn't even recording them. So we flip this round and we're just going to try and see if we can get it out. So we've managed to get this one out nice, and we've just got the magnets off. Again, I forgot to put things. We've got to these come out as well. Look, these will have a little break in them somewhere. There you go. So that'll come out there. They did say they were reusable, and I was thinking, I thought, yeah, there's no way they're reusable. Where that one's... Is that one still on the thing? That one's still inside the magnet, the rubber?
No, it's in here.
No, this one in the...
No, this one there, what's that one?
I'll just pull that off there, yeah. So there'll be a break in that rubber somewhere. Yeah. Sounds? First proper slab, eh? That we've made.
How much does this cost you?
Yeah, this one's cost more, hasn't it? Because we're paying for the cement. But it was cheaper when we done it with spot mix, you know, when we done the 10. Right, do you want to get the lifting things, and I'll try and lift it into place. And then, Ronnie, just sprinkle some things on here, look. Just on these ones, yeah. Sorry? I wonder where that's gone, because there's not on there. And then we could do with, look, prepping. Oh, look at that, where we put a big... How have we done there? How has it done there?
Something dropped on it.
Do you want to get these and then just chisel the bits of cement, and then we'll get that ready for it if we do want to do another mould or not. Lovely. Right, I'm going to put the lifting eyes on the forklift now and try and lift this and drop it into place. Yeah, just pull the bits out here if you can. So Phil's just stacking, we're just moving all these so that when we do get the slabs, we're good to go here. So I'm going to run to G-bar now and do some bits. Phil and Ronnie are going to box this bit off and use the digger, clear all this, and just get it ready for the 20 slabs when they come. I've just had a call with Scott then, and he's doing the stairs. He's doing the floor joists, but he wants to know where to put the stairs, the measurements. So we use Stairbox. As you can see here, you can just go online, put your measurements in. I'll show you on here. And you can do sort of widths of the stairs, the free winders, the heights, everything. You can mess around with it. And as you change something on here, it'll change it on there. So originally we were going to have 2 steps before there, but it gave us on the right side, we've got 1331. This is on the loft extension. However, that wouldn't give us enough to get a normal door in, so we've just changed it then to 1 tread before, and it just means it encroaches into the room a bit more at that level. But I'm just hoping we've got enough height under the staircase to do that. So that'll be the other thing we'll check now. So on this you can get a 3D version. There you go. And they'll give you that, look, with the measurements on. So the only thing I'm worried about is, just scroll up the screen. There you go. Is that here we've got enough head height, if that makes sense. And there, obviously, as the steps go. So I'll send I'll send that 3D to Scott and see if he agrees to that, because that way when we've done it, if we add another step into that, obviously if we add another step in, everything gets lifted up then. Let me see if I can show you that. Kites before, we put 2 steps before, and then we'll go to the 3D version and you'll be able to see what I mean then. So see how everything's lifted up now. So you might need to do that with the head height. I'll just check now, because we know what the rise on each step is, so Scott can work it out really. So putting an extra step in before gives us like I think it should be about 20 centimeters rise. Let's have a look. Because what we don't want to do is not think about this, and then when the stairs come, fit them and go, oh my god, you can't get a thing. Where does it say what the rise is? So the going is 220mm going, and then rises 197, so yeah, 197.3. So I'll just phone Scott back and tell him to check that. And then it might be that they put a smaller door on, there's an entrance there into the front bedroom. It might be that they put a smaller door in, so that they get the height for the stairs. Otherwise, what they'll have to do is they'll have to move that stud wall further into the bedroom, which is what we normally do, but these want to try and keep obviously that front room as big as they can. So I'm just in G-Bar again, and in the women's toilet, and they were saying that the falls weren't right and the toilet backs up, so I've just done a little thing to test it. So I've disconnected the sink. Well, when I had the sink connected, and obviously it's got an air trap in, see, the toilet's filling up with water. And then if I do that now and go, did you see how that went then when I pulled this out? So it's creating an air trap, and it's got nowhere to replace the air. So I've took this off, so that obviously air can get into the pipe to replace the water, and it should. I'll do it again in a minute once that's filled up. Right, so just noticed this has been poorly designed as well, because someone's tried to cut away the thing so that, but other than that, the water only goes to there and trickles out and makes a noise, rather than, but it's full now, so hopefully we get a proper flush. So, see the difference then, where there's air to get through it. But what I've noticed as well is that there's water sat in this pipe. So they've got let me get the camera on. So what they've got is obviously an access point there, which is good, so you can rod it. However, there's water sat in that, and what I figured out is even if I lift this bit up, the water sits in that corner, which means that from there to there, the fall isn't right. So that boxing in is obviously the soil pipe going that way into the next room. However, the fall's not right on it, so what's happening is it's building up, and what that'll be doing is there'll be toilet paper and stuff sat in that corner, which, you know, isn't good. You want to be able to obviously get it all out. However, I'm not going to be able to fix that right now. Well, I could, I'd have to take the tiles and stuff off, which is a bit of a ball ache. Yeah, let me see what's best. Right, I'm in now, bar 54. A nice easy one. So I done the toilet seats on these, and for some reason they always say toilet seats just never last long in these clubs, but I know that this one's like don't want to jinx it, a dead easy fix though. Bang, and then Okay. Thank you. And see you later. That is an easy one. And then it's always good. I always keep these for them when I swap them, because you never know when, so there's another set there, when one of them will break and I'll be able to come in and just go, oh bang, don't need to buy anything. Right, next job. Alright, that's it for the call outs on G-Bar. Well, it's not it, but I've got to go back. I haven't got some of the stuff with me, so whenever I get a message about a call out, I normally I'm having a good old snog. Whenever I get a message about a call out, I always ask them to send me a video or a picture or whatever they can, so that I can, like, you know, bring the stuff with me. They didn't on that case, and there's two of the jobs where I could have brought stuff with me. One of them then, you didn't want to see that one, it was a blocked Sani flow with all poo, and I was like, I haven't got the stuff right with me to do that right now. I just feel a bit knackered and a bit deflated today. I don't know if it's because I trained late last night with footy and or whether I'm just, I don't know, I feel like that. The nice effects of the holiday coming back all recharged are just instantly gone. I'm back being knackered again. But I've got to go to, it's 3:15, I've got to go to quote a cozy living job, and then I was trying to get to the loft extension job, and then I wanted to finish on the yard, see what Ronnie and Phil, I don't know whether they've been having loads of problems with the digger, so this is why I don't like, well, maybe I'm just a control freak, or I just need to be involved in everything, but I just feel like loads goes wrong as soon as I leave jobs. It's like, so left the yard, they've like, the roller won't start, so I was like, okay, charge the battery, even though it just started, so I don't know what's going on with that. And then they said the digger won't start, and so I said, all right, charge that battery, and they didn't have the throttle up, so that was why. So they've obviously been turning it for ages, thinking, why isn't this starting? And then charged the battery again, and then I told them, and then he was using it, and then he said it ran out of diesel. So then I had to show them how to prime it. However, the battery's gone dead again because they were trying to start it whilst the diesel ran out, and just like all this stuff that I've done, so I can't, you know, I can't moan at the lads for doing it as well, because it happens, doesn't it? But maybe I just need to get a big sign on that digger for like the common troubleshooting problems. But yeah, I don't know, just have days where you think, like today's been one of them days where I've just filled it with rubbish, really. At least I've like earned some money. I need to, especially when I've got people on the yard, so I've got Phil and Ronnie on the yard today, so I need to cover their wage plus earn a wage, so it's like, we've got to like save up enough money to then do work on the yard. It's just, and then I've got 20 more slabs to come in, but they're $4.5 grand for them, so you're like, and then I've got the next stage of the app, so they just sent me a video of the app to show it working and stuff on their end, so I've got to watch that and then see if there's anything that needs tweaking. But yeah, and I've got money for that, and then what else was there? I got another big bill for something else, and it's just like, it all comes at once, doesn't it? But you just got to keep plugging away. Right, let's go and do this cozy living job, and then try and swing by the other job, and then try and get to the yard before R4. So I'm just on another cozy living one. Am I going to get to the yard in less than an hour? As you can see, I can hear wind coming through here, and as I've opened it up, the gas strut, the bolts come out, so I could maybe go and get a bolt and put it in now. However, I think there's a big issue. Because, look at that, yeah. Oh, it's snapped, doesn't it? Look at that. I think that's snapped. So, I think it could be easier to just fit a new window than to mess around with all this. That's just about getting the flashing on that, isn't it? Let me have a little look and we'll see. But yeah, I'm thinking probably a new window, or we'd have to try and track down this company and get the exact parts for the exact model. And yeah, right, I've managed to do a little temporary fix here where this wasn't broken, it was just massively out, and I just need to go and get a little hammer to make sure that that is pressed right down, because that's what stops this coming out. And then I'm just going to go and see if I've got like a little bolt or a screw or something I can put in here, and then at least this job's done. I was meant to be pricing for this, but when it's like this, you just think, just do it. Right, there we go. Little bolt, angle grinder off, and we've got that bit down nice. So, and I managed to get the weather seal back in as well. So there we go, all done. I do need to give a shout out to these stairs before I go, because oh, they are a rise of 26.5 centimetres. I think that's the most I've ever seen. I don't know if I put my foot there to give you at least the consistency. But yeah, big stairs. Right, there is no way I'm getting to these my jobs before R4. It's 10 to 4 now, and I'm sat in traffic on the way to quote another job. Now, quoting jobs is so annoying, but even worse when, like, we went to this job and they said about the windows. So I was like, yep, sound. Went round, measured them, sound, and then they said, oh, and the bedroom on. So then I went round again, and the tenant wasn't in, and the tenant took the key out the lockbox because they don't like people going in the house. Fair enough. But even if you give 24 hours notice, which they did, I went back and they took the key out the lockbox. So I've wasted, you know, half an hour of my time where I could have went and done a call out and earned money, and I probably would have earned more money than I would have, like, on this job. So if I was to add in the time of, like, going to quote these jobs, and I just don't get it. And then imagine doing this and then not getting the job, and then the next one thinking, oh well, I better add me hour time on for that, and then not getting it, and eventually you're just overpricing the jobs and not getting them. And yeah, I just think maybe we don't do customs work, maybe we just do our own projects and that's it. But I might say to these, look, if it's a small job, like, you know, don't even bother like asking me to go and quote it. It's just, it'll be like, you know, minimum £150 for me to go, like, do whatever and just probably fix it there and then, which is what, like, most of the time it ends up being. So it's not as bad then, whereas you can't charge someone £150 to go and quote a job. Look at this traffic. Right, I'm going to go measure this bedroom window, if they're in. If not, it's another wasted trip. And then I've not been able to get to the other jobs either. Oh, what a frustrating end to Friday. And I've made it to the extension job for 20 past. Any music on? Effing and Jeffing. I can't even see where the radio is.
Strategic.
Oh, okay. No, 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 no.
Come around here, come around.
Lovely. Is that how far it goes then? Or have you not put the double in yet?
No, we haven't put the double in.
I was going to say. Hey.
There's another single at least on there.
So where did it come to originally, the stairs?
Do you remember you were going into the bedroom?
Yeah.
Kind of penciled it, just like a rough mark.
Yeah. He's saying that.
He said he doesn't want that.
He's saying if he loses that, he loses the bedroom, and then
Yeah.
it's Hello. Hi, you okay? Men all right?
Just be getting that last steel in.
Once the roof's on. Once the roof's off, sorry. Or do you want to try and... You want to try and cut it out before then? I was thinking, what's the order of things now is chimney stack. Well, get the floor done, chimney stack. Then take the roof off and dormer. So we've got to try and do that before Friday, though, haven't we? So it's whether to put a few more lads on here. Although, what did you have today? 40s, didn't you? We don't like having more than 5 on a house. Would you need any more? Or would you just be in each other's way then?
We need to be able to even get to the finishing the floor off in the corners. You need to be taking the side off to the best you can. Bring that up even a few more afters, and then you're looking at stripping.
Yeah, so I'm thinking now,
The top of the chimney,
there's no point.
the rest of the roof.
There's no point taking little bits off. The order will have to be get this middle bit done, boarded, and then take the chimney stack down, take the roof off. Take the chimney stack and the roof off's the next thing, isn't it? And then it's move the steel floors whilst someone's building the thing and bricking the pad stoning. Because on this one we can get the ridge steel in straight away. And then once the ridge steel's in, you can start building the front roof. So you can have someone doing the back dormer, someone doing the front roof.
Straight square, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a triangle, yeah. Well, triangle and a dormer box. So I think that'll be the plan. Monday then. Monday you'll need chimney stack down, and what do you want to take that down? Ladders or a bit of scaff, or it won't be that high, will it?
That's what I'm saying. You could use the roof, take the exterior down first, and then, like you say, bring the roof down. As it.
So I'm thinking Monday go, finish the floor, chimney stack down, roof off. Monday. Then Tuesday, focus on getting the pad stone in for the ridge. Get the steel welded to post.
So even if we just take the chimney down past where the pad stone goes,
Yeah.
and leave it there,
Until we...
It's just weather permitting, isn't it?
set out of the way then,
Yeah, because we can't be dropping bricks down here like we normally do.
and then it can be just finished off at another time.
Whenever someone's free.
That's what I'm saying. Use the roof, get the top down onto the scarf, straight into the thing, and then obviously use the interior to take it out again as we've stripped off. Put the ridge in the same way.
Sound? And then we'll probably have, how many pallets of brick do you reckon off this? 2, 3? I'd say 3.
Yeah, maybe some more.
Sounds? Right. Have a good weekend. I'm going to go to the yard and check how they've got on. So I was saying I was never going to get here in the yard before 4:30. I got here before 4:30. But lads have smashed it with the joist today. Got obviously the steels in yesterday, and you say they've got the joist in now. So this is the only one that we can't floor because we've got it in pocketed on that side, but because it's on the angle because of the hip, we can't get it any more that way. So they can't do any floor here. And we were waiting on the staircase, weren't we? So Scott phoned me about the stairs and I sent him the thing and I said, just check that you've got the head height, because it's all right for most people, but I'm 6'3", so I'm like there now on the original stairs. And what we didn't want to do is, obviously, if we just get the kite in it, double kite in here, it'll fit on a plan, but in reality, you won't have the like 2 meters plus headspace on the angle. So, but you were just saying you don't want to lose, you don't want to eat in, I think, Scott.
Too much into that where you can't get a double bed and it becomes not a bedroom, and then
So Scott drew on, didn't he, there?
all of our efforts.
That pencil line.
Yeah. So you're not going to make it, because I know.
So what's that, about 30
I
centimetres?
know Nell's bed comes to about there.
Yeah.
So if you take too much off that room, this is then a 3-bedroom house, so all this work,
So-
there's a cap on the value of the house.
What, 6.5 metres squared, isn't it? Is the minimum bedroom space.
Yeah, well, for a HMO, it's 6.51. I don't know about it.
For everything, yeah.
Get a resi house as well, yeah.
So this is currently, I always think that you're surprised by them. 2.4 times, what's that? 2.4 times 2.1. What's that?
2.4 times 2.1.
Sounds small, doesn't it?
5.
So it's not actually big enough for a bedroom. Anyway,
it's
but
existing though, isn't
yeah,
it? If you
yeah.
make it smaller from existing.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to keep this the same height, and we're going to obviously get the stairs in that way. So what we're going to do is add a tread here, and then we're going to have another one out that way, aren't we? So I was trying to play around with it on the app, where you can have 12 or 13 steps.
An extra step upstairs, you said.
But an extra step means that you can have more steps between the kites, because obviously they can't really change. The 3 kite winders can't really
Stairbox
change.
is going to sort this for us, isn't it?
No, it'll be the fella in Garson. I can't even remember the name. You asked me about the company now and I've forgotten it.
No.
No, it's in Garston. I've put him on. He's been on my YouTube before. I can't remember the name of the company now.
To play with nails here, Andy. Look at that. Safety on site.
Are you going to be a builder?
She's doing a lot of skiving, I think.
Yeah, once we know where the stairs are going, we can get this double in and a double across here onto the wall, and then I say Monday will be the big changes.
Roof off on Monday.
Roof off, chimney stack down, and gonna try and quick as we can get the ridge post in, and then
Absolutely scorching it.
hopefully, yeah. This bit of the job's the nice bit of the job, innit? Where you come in every day and it's like, yeah. Wait till you get to the end of the job where like you come in, you go, has anyone been here today? Right, I'm off, so have a good weekend. I'm going to go in my yard and see how them lads have got on. Oh, and then that was another thing I haven't mentioned about, was the door frames, wasn't it? So you wanted to try and keep all this in, but we had to cut some of them to get these stairs in. If you'd have seen if you'd have come in when we were getting them stairs in, you'd have probably laughed. We had this steel sat on this and like pivoting it round. Yeah. But 850 between the studs is a 30-inch door, obviously including the casing, and you've got 77 there. So ideally you want to have them all 30 inches so you're not struggling getting furniture and yeah. But if anyone doesn't know, if you're thinking of doing a loft, that you have to make all, if you do a loft or a basement, I don't know if it's the basement, I think it is, you know.
It's if you do a second floor, isn't it?
You do a second, but I don't know if you do a basement as well, you've got to do it.
Even if you didn't do a second floor and you just had a basement, so you've still got 3 floors.
I think you've still got to change the doors. Basically you've got to fireproof the exit. So if one of these rooms caught fire, if someone's in the loft, they need to be able to get out. So that needs to be like a fire escape route. So
Alarms as well, got to change.
And your alarms, yeah. Right, I think that's enough for YouTube. And I've made it to the yard. later than I wanted, but here we go. Let's have a look at how they've got on. Do 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 do. And they've left this out on charge. Not really what I want. Let's see. Oh, they've covered this bit, but left the extension lead out. Why is that showing up as 0? I've never seen that before. Why would it be doing that? Maybe I need to disconnect it. Well, I'm going to disconnect it anyway because I don't want to leave it like that. Well, I've got loads of the pallets there and some over there. Nice. So I cleared all this bit. So it'll just be a case of seeing how to get them ones, really, isn't it? Or whether we put the slabs down to get to those ones, or whether we build a little ramp and whack this, maybe. We'll see. But it is getting there. I feel like a better way to end Friday. I'll just go around and check that everything's turned off. I've left out. Nice. Starting to get a bit more, although it still looks like chaos. It's getting a bit more organised. Once I get the next slabs down here, that'll be amazing. Right, that is it for Friday and this episode. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do subscribe, and we'll see you next week.